How are you?
I'm good, my friend. So, what is the discussion today? Does it show you who do we have in here? Does it give you any comments
Oh,
popping up?
I'm seeing one person. It says one person. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, it just says one person. I don't see any comments. I got the chat open. I don't see no comments coming through yet. So
Okay, so what are we going over today? Just the American corresponding
yeah, the American.
history.
Yeah,
The American,
not this
America.
Italian shit. We're going American.
You want to wait till we get a few more people in here before we start
Yeah, we
discussing that,
probably
or do you
should.
just want to?
I don't know. You think we should wait and have a couple more people pop on?
Pretty
I think
indifferent. I guess we start.
regardless, it's gonna go on YouTube, so they can watch it live or they can watch it later. Don't really matter.
Hmm. All right, well, let's just fucking dive into it. So,
Let's get
stories,
into it.
David. What do we got for stories, brother? What do we have
Stories.
going around?
Oh, we have a lot of stories. So I mean, you wanna hit them with the first story that everybody knows? Or you want me to hit them with it?
Yeah, I'd say let's start with the old Satilli story.
Yeah.
Went over
So I
to
mean,
Italy.
yeah, I went over to Italy. The boy, the BS. Oh, he was driving through the countryside in a suit, and there's some dogs. Gets out, talks to the farmer. He says wants to buy them. The farmer's like, what the hell do you want with my dogs? And blah blah blah. He talks about wants to show him this and that, and then he agrees to ship him some dogs over. So then I guess the old classic tale of guy waits too long, sends him one bitch, supposedly one bitch dog, flies over here, sends her too late, supposedly has pups in a crate, and picks him up at the JFK airport. Um, she's whelping in the crate. She's whelping in the car back to their house as they're driving back to New Jersey, and supposedly it's just Mike Senior and Mike Junior. Only people that saw that dog, saw the litter, whelped the litter, and what I guess the female died a couple 24 hours later, 48 hours later, and that's basically the first tale we have.
And if we're critically thinking from that story there, no freight papers,
No
no
freight
transport
papers.
papers on the dog being imported in, which
Nope.
isn't a big thing, not a big deal to present to people if they're looking at that. Also, no pictures. Where are all these pictures? I mean, I believe that back then they already had pictures of their stock. Pictures of
Yeah.
the puppy. Are there any Super Six litter pictures floating around of all 13 puppies? Wasn't it
Yeah.
13? 13
I
to
think
15?
13 or 15. I think they might have. If I'm not mistaken, they said they lost one or two. If I'm not mistaken, so I think it was 13 or 14.
And then what do we have for the other tale that not too many people know about?
Yeah. So personally, I've talked to Linda Valentine. Linda Valentine's still alive for people that don't know. Called her up, picked her brain, and I called her up and I said, Linda, I said, what's up with all the stories? And I
David,
said,
let's give him a rundown who Linda Valentine is.
okay. So Linda Valentine, one of the pioneer breeders. Well, I mean, she was in there at the same time with Mike Satilli, Linda Sanino, all the original people. She had Neos, and I guess worked with Neos with Mike and I think Linda Sanino. I think they were all kind of in a clique. So she was one of the first people to have the Corsos over here, one of pioneer breeders. So I called her up, talked to her many times, but particular one time called her and asked her what's up with the stories. What were these dogs really imported, or was it some bullshit mixed up stuff? And she said, so I gave her the first story of he imported one female who had puppies in a crate, blah blah blah. She's like, what? I've never heard that story. What are you talking about? And I'm like, well, what about they're mixed with Neos and Rottweilers? She's like, what are you talking about? I've never heard that. And I'm thinking, how did you never hear this, right? So I'm like, well, then what's the real story? Give me the real story. So she says she was in contact with Mike before the courses were even a thing in Neos. He went over to Italy before that and had seen Corsos. talked to Linda Valentine and Linda Sanino about the Corsos, and they were all in agreement, like, let's get some of these dogs. So I guess Mike went over to look at them, and while he's over there, this isn't just a 1-day trip. You don't think this was like a week trip or a 2-week trip from what I'm gathering from Linda. And Linda was really good friends with his wife Kathy. I think this was his wife at the time. Whatever his first wife was. Maybe I'm missing that up, but she was great friends. So she would call his wife while he was over there and constantly ask him, "Is Mike back yet? Did he get the dogs? You know, what's going on?" Because she doesn't know. You know, she don't know what's going on. So then Mike gets back, and he brings back with him 2 females, 2 bitch dogs that were bred in Italy. He gave one to Linda Valentine, and he took one back to his home in New Jersey. She said his female did not take, her female did take, and her female that did take was the foundation and the mother of the Super 6 litter. So she says she whelped the very first litter of Corsos in the United States in, I believe, 1988. And
Okay.
what other point did I have? I had another point. I kind of lost it in my train of thought there. Anyway, we'll come back to it if I think about it. But that's the second story.
So that's like the contradicting statement, right? Everybody's saying that, we heard Junior say that nobody else was there, no Sanino, no Linda Valentine, it was just him and his father. This is the other story. So was that dog pregnant from Italy? So the sire would be an Italian dog from the farm that they brought over?
Correct.
Okay, understood. I don't know if you're willing to share this yet, but I heard you have some pictures,
I do.
some signed pictures, some
I
signed
do.
pictures.
We have signed pictures of the supposed dam of the Super 6 that was owned by Mike Satilli and Linda Sanino, but was kept at Linda Sanino's house.
Linda Valentine's house.
But yeah, Linda Valentine. My apologies.
Yeah. Yep.
Let me pull up my album here. Switch the camera. So this dog here, and this picture has floated around, but nobody has ever seen or actually known what the dog was.
I mean, good-looking dog.
Good-looking dog.
Good-looking dog.
You know, very, very clean, very fine. You know, finer boned. You know, it's nothing. No heavy dog at all. You know, it's a small dog.
I mean, that's probably like, say, maybe 80 to 90 pounds. Doesn't look like a big dog at all.
No. You know, very
and then
in the muzzle.
Do you have the sorry, I'm cutting you off, brother, my bad.
It's all right.
Do you have the signed back of the picture where
I will
Linda
have to let me see if I can pull that up quick. That is,
I mean, for all you guys watching out there, nothing is set in stone. We're just looking for answers as much as everybody else, but we got a few more pieces.
Yeah, and it's all stories. Nobody knows this shit for real. Everybody's just, you know, running off of stories. Everybody acts like they were there back then, but nobody really was.
Regurgitated stories too. It's a big old game of telephone.
Exactly.
But just looking at that dog, do you think that dog is a F1 cross? Do you think that dog is a Sicilian Bronchero? What is your opinion on that? What do you feel about this dog?
Well, let me jump into that, but I have the picture up, so we will pan over this
awesome.
quick. So this is the back of the picture. It says Benduza's mother, and it says please return. So there's a story. We won't throw any names out on this, but this picture was sent in the mail to somebody and asked to be returned by Linda Valentine, and it was never sent back.
Shout, get your shit right, bro. Anyways, what do we got for the dates over there? Do we have dates on the bottom from the Polaroid?
It just says 9/22/0011. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that actually gives you a solid date. I know I have another picture from the same printout, like same year. That was Oh, where are we at? This is from the
Oh, let's
same.
go. Let's go on that. Sarah, who's that?
That's
Santino or
Santino. Yeah, I can.
okay? I don't know if people
I
have
can
seen
get
this
back.
one, but
I can get back to that. But that's Santino, August '93.
okay.
Now I'll
Santino's
pull.
a good looking ass dog.
I can pull up a better picture of him. I got a lot of pictures, so we can of Santino. So there's one. This is at Linda Valentine's house.
Any information on who the gentleman holding the dog is?
All I know from Linda, obviously she's older. She can't remember all the fine details from these pictures, but this was some gentleman from Canada. She said would come down. I guess he owned one of her dogs, and he would come down periodically and take pictures of her dogs. I guess really. Um, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure the gentleman's name. She couldn't recall when I talked to her about that.
Okay, good looking dog. Any more pictures? What we got
Got
from there we go.
another. I think that I believe that's Santino from the same year, same day, everything.
Do you have any more pictures of the mother or what's speculated to be the dam of the Super Six?
I don't. That's the only picture I really
So
have.
that's our mystery picture. So let's sit on this for a bit. So say what do you believe this is? Do you believe this is an F1? Do you think this is a dog off a farm, just a good old farm mastiff?
I
What is your
mean,
opinions, brother?
to touch on that, I guess. I mean, it could be either. It really could. I mean, I can see that being a dog off a farm in Italy. I mean, it has similar characteristics of dogs around that time point, the 1980s. But at the same time, if we're talking, I can see an old school, very dry Neo being bred to a very old school Rottweiler, producing something very similar.
I
So
agree.
if you
I
look at
agree.
both, I think it could be either. Um, either way you look at it, it could be a cross. It could be a pure Sicilian Bronchiero. You just nobody knows. We're just going over stories, but it could be either.
But I mean, if I'm being critical, what I'm thinking, if we're going back then, if we're going pure dogs, I think farmers aren't really messing around with any pure breed, pure kind of dog. I think they're just types, right? So like, what are we saying is pure? Because I believe one farm is going to be different from the next farm, whatever they're mixing into these dogs to have as their farm mastiffs. Nothing's going to be consistent. That's just my thought on that. So
100%. Yeah, 100%. I mean, the obviously we're talking farms, and I think just to touch on something, a lot of people nowadays live in cities. They don't realize what farms even were. These farms were miles and miles apart. These people probably own thousands of acres. They weren't walking to their buddy down the street and breeding with their dogs. They had one select farm probably had 4 or 5 dogs, maybe six. I mean, who knows? And they just interbred and intertwined with what they had. They didn't go down here, pick up a dog, go over here, pick up a dog, try to do this. It was almost the type, and I think the dog was probably selective and varied per farm, per region,
but I mean,
per everything.
agreed. Makes sense to me. But I mean, I also could see mixing a good old Rottweiler and a Neo and getting a dog that looks like that with brindle points.
Yeah, I can see it as well. I mean, if anybody has any common sense of crossing dog breeds, I've seen it enough um, locally these days. I've seen multiple Corso, Rottweiler um, cross breedings, and we're talking traditional Corsos cross to more old school Rottweilers. We have both in this area where I'm at, and I've seen dogs come out. And just to touch on, say another thing, everybody said, "Oh, the Super Six litter, was so consistent." Well, it wasn't that consistent. It varied. I want to say fairly heavily. We had multiple different head types, multiple different muzzle types, looks, length of body, all that. It was all different. I mean, they shared some traits and they didn't share some traits. But going back to the litters I've seen, of course, with a Rottweiler, I know it's not the same thing. But when I've looked at it 10, 13, 14 pup litter, 3 different litters. All these puppies coming out of Corso Rottweiler crosses were very consistent. And I think most people, even when you cross, it doesn't matter. When you cross multiple different breeds, I've seen different breed crossings my whole life. They come out with some sort of consistency. They don't come out just A to Z, um, all over the place. I've seen these Corso Rottweiler crosses come out red stag, chestnut brindle, and black brindle, and they all look just about the exact same. I don't see variations really heavy, and I don't see I see a lot of consistency. So it can easily be a Neo-Rottweiler cross for the Super Six sire and dam.
The the crosses that you're seeing locally, do they come out pointed? Do you get brindle points, dilute points?
I have never seen it, and like I said, we're just talking Corsos and Rottweilers, so we're not talking Neos Rottweilers. But I've never seen any other colors in a litter besides black brindle, chestnut brindle, and a red stag or fawn colored pup. That's the only color they come, and the coat type. We're talking coat type. They have a very the ones I've seen, a very heavy double coat. We're not talking nothing smooth. We're not talking a single coat. We're seeing double coat pups.
Rough texture,
Yep,
long
rough
coat.
texture. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Not like the smooth, shiny coats
Yeah.
that you see on some Danes or
No,
Neos,
and we're
things like that.
not seeing any really heavy blocky muzzles. You're seeing a little bit, especially with the older rotty blood that we have around here. You're seeing a longer, more, for less of a better example, shepherdy muzzle.
Do you want to go back in some of these pictures that you have for
Yeah.
the Super Six litter or anything coming from those kennels back then, just so people can get a idea of what those pups look like compared to pups of today?
So
When
what do
everybody's
you?
talking,
Yeah. What do you want to start with? You said you want to look at pictures of pups or just Super Six dogs in general.
let's start with the pictures of pups, just so we know what kind of dogs were coming out back then. Let's go to that old masterpiece photo first, actually, just to
Okay.
show,
Okay.
like, yeah, I think that's a good one for people to see, right? Like, what were these pups coming out? What were the colors coming out back then? Because we're talking colors coming out of dogs, and we're talking pointed, and we're talking dilutes. Well, where is that dilute gene coming from? Neapolitan
Exactly.
massive.
Exactly. So here's a masterpiece Connie Corso ad from, I don't know what the does it say the year on here anywhere? Does not say the year, but I would imagine not. Was it
And
late '90s?
masterpiece was cutting you off again, bro. My bad.
That's all right. That's all right. Go
Masterpiece
ahead.
was Kathy's deal, right? Kathy
Yep.
Satilli, which would have
Kathy
been
Satilli deal.
Senior's wife or divorced wife at the time. But I
Yep.
mean, if you look at that little pup down there, bottom right corner, it's not even brindle points. That's just straight up
That's
pointed.
straight up points. Yeah. Straight up points. And we're seeing we're
And
seeing
that looks
we're seeing blue points on there. We're seeing tawny points. We're seeing all kinds of variations of solid point. We're not even talking brindle points. We're talking solid points.
don't get me wrong, some of those dogs look damn good to me, like they're good looking dogs, but just for the sake of argument,
Yep.
a little. But then we got this little that little red pup over the two pointed pups. That is a complete different head type. What are we talking about there?
Yeah, I mean, of course, we're talking a little bit of a blurry picture, so I can't be 100% critical. But for the pod here, yeah, that dog looks like it's from another planet. No
Yeah, I
muzzle
mean,
at
just
all,
lack
no
of
muzzle,
muscle.
and a very very hard break. It looks like from the head down to the muzzle.
Very stout little pup, thick in
Yeah,
the neck.
lot of dewlap under the neck. You can see the flaps of skin from the neck to the chest are pretty dramatic.
Hmm. What else do we got for pictures of pups? I think we have a picture of, I believe, is it Kokomo, or did we suspect it was Kokomo and a litter
Oh,
mate?
yes.
And these are from Linda Valentine,
Yep, these
where
photos
you
are
received these
directly,
pictures.
yeah,
Yes.
pictures are directly from Linda. Try to find them quick.
For everybody out there, we are just all over the place. We're just two good boys talking about some dogs.
That's right.
Is all it's about. Where are we going here?
There we go.
Okay. So yeah, that dog over there, brindle pointed puppy.
Yeah, brindle pointed puppy and a chestnut brindle
Chestnut brindle. So
dog.
she said that is supposedly Kokomo?
Yeah, supposedly Kokomo and Tori.
Tori, okay. Do we have any more pictures of those pups from that litter? From the Super 6 litter?
I don't think I have that I know for a fact, or that she in fact told me were from the Super 6 litter. Yeah, I don't have any that I know in fact.
Well, maybe we could start looking at the Super 6 dogs, see what we got going on there.
Yeah, we could start out.
Because
Start out with
everybody's
old.
screaming consistency. We got a few
Yeah.
that are consistent and some that just don't fit the mold.
No. So I mean, we'll start off with the everybody's favorite.
The classic, the greatest picture. Greatest picture. God damn, that dog looks good.
Yep, 100%.
Look at the head on that motherfucker. Fucking beauty. Good looking dog.
So then we'll go from there, and then we got who do we go to next? We'll go to Malachi.
Increase the size on that bad boy. Let's take a little zoom in on her head. Yeah, a little bit more dry. It's that black brindle.
Yep.
Blurry pictures. We're struggling, but
Yeah, we're
put some
struggling.
imagination in there. And
Yeah,
that's one of the rare breed shows.
Yeah, we're a breed show from. I can see. I see April 22nd. I can't make out the year on that one.
Just go by their fashion styles.
Yeah.
Floral
Yeah.
blazons.
And then there's the other
Then who do we
classic.
have here?
Same dog.
Maloki as well.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's saying that Corsos are supposed to be huge, big 140-pound dogs. These dogs don't look very big at all.
No, not at all.
They look like maybe topping out 110 max, but they don't look like gigantic dogs by any means. Definitely not 140 pounds. I don't see that.
Not at all. And then we'll go to this picture. This is supposed
Okay,
to
so
be.
that's a Kokomo pup.
Yeah, that's Kokomo. That's a young Kokomo, and it's not labeled, but we're guessing that's a young Tori as well.
Yeah. Whatever came brindle pointed in that litter. Do we know how many brindle pointed dogs came out of the Super 6?
I don't know 100%. I tried looking through the database and getting all the pictures. I only think there was one or I think there was only one coming out of the first litter. At least that I know for a fact. That would be again Tori.
Take a little zoom on there, brother. That's brindle points.
A little bit another different head type. This dog definitely had a different head type than Kokomo and the other Super 6 bitch.
Looks a little bit short in the muzzle.
Yep, short
what
in
I
the muzzle.
can
Really
on this picture.
really hard break between the head to the muzzle as well. Definitely not those equal planes that we're seeing on some of the other dogs.
Yep.
And then I guess we'll go over some pictures that aren't seen very often, or some people might have never seen them at all. This is Kokomo, 1992. So this would have been right after Ed would have bought the dog off of Mike Jr. I think this was the first show that they went to. I believe Chrissy showed Kokomo and Ed showed Midnight, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, in this picture over here, definitely not as flattering as the iconic Kokomo picture.
100%. Yeah, definitely looks very different in in the head type compared to where the old two pictures we're used to.
And even let's go on the chest. If we can just kind of minimize and look how that chest to body ratio looks. It doesn't look very long as a dog. It looks kind of short.
Yeah, looks even he doesn't really even look that big. I mean, you can see both the judge and Chris. I mean, he's slightly above the knee as far as height.
Yeah, I mean that, from that iconic photo to that one, it's a little bit of a dramatic difference. I mean,
Yeah.
granted, it's black and white, but it still doesn't have that sort of presence that the first picture that everybody knows has.
No,
Let's
of
see what
course.
other Kokomo pics you have.
Yeah, I have a couple more. Again, probably nobody's probably ever seen of Kokomo. Again, this is Kokomo from another show back then. I'm not sure exactly what show, what date, but this is, good old champion Kokomo.
Let's scroll down a little bit so they can see the header of the picture. Just yep, champion Kokomo. There we go. I mean, you're probably gonna get some haters saying that you just fucking slapped it on a random picture and these aren't
Yeah,
real,
yeah.
but nothing to lose, nothing to gain here.
No,
People
and again,
just
these
talking about
these
this.
pictures are coming off of, forgive me for the moment, don't remember her name, but Linda
Linda
Sonino's
Valentine.
sister.
Oh,
No, this is
Sanina.
yeah, Linda
Okay.
Sonino's sister. She was in the Corso game in the very beginning. Got two dogs off of her sister Linda Sonino, and showed for a few years. And these pictures come straight from Linda Sonino's sister. I can't remember her name off the top of my head.
Amazing. Okay, so Linda Sanino's sister. Yeah, so they're Kokomo. I mean, granted, not a staged photo, but not that impressive as that
No,
stage shot.
right, 100%.
But this damn pup down there, though, that's a fucking dog. That pup
That's a
looks
dog.
real good. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That pup
I'm
looks
I'm
great.
curious if anybody knows who that pup is. It's a good looking pup.
100%. So then, I
And
do have when we have a couple. I have a couple more photos of Kokomo. We got the famous, Mickey Jr. with
oh yeah, oh
showing the
yeah.
dog back in the day. Again, looks way. I mean, obviously, we're talking a young, probably around a year. Matt,
And I
probably
mean,
max.
I I guess Corsos grow kind of ugly too. Like they go through those weird phases, man.
Right.
They go through those weird phases. But yeah, there we go. Another Kokomo.
Another
Yeah.
Kokomo.
Skittle.
Just again, this picture. I've always been impressed with this picture. Dog looks great in my opinion, but definitely doesn't look like
Agreed.
his older self in those other photos we have.
Doesn't look as stout. Not as much bone in that other picture. I mean, the other picture has more bone, in my opinion. Looks like a more well muscled,
Yeah,
heavier bone dog. That head looks fucking awesome though.
yeah.
Good head.
Let's see what
I
else.
guess to my personal preference.
Yes, agreed.
Because everything is up on opinion here. Nothing is fact. We got another Kokomo shot.
Yep, another Kokomo shot.
Looks young there as well.
Yep, yep.
Probably about like a year, maybe under a year. And then what else do we have for the Super Six dogs?
Super
Just to
six
show,
dog.
just to
Yeah, let
show
me.
when everybody's screaming consistency, they are quite different looking. Like
So
there
here
is not as much.
we have Santino and Benduza. I'm not sure. It looks like
David, why you got to
Santino's.
do me like that, bro? I said they're not consistent looking, and you bring up the fucking most consistent picture.
Well,
It's like they all know this is like the best picture of consistency from a fucking litter.
it is. But if we're talking these dogs compared to Kokomo, they don't look like Kokomo in my opinion.
At all.
I mean, even we'll go down. We'll go to another dog which didn't look like the Super Six Girl, Orso.
Bolo or so?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
this dog looked nothing like the rest. I mean, head type way different. I mean, again, and if I'm gonna be critical here for the point of the pod, head type looks Roddy to me. My opinion. I see Roddy head type from back in the day.
I think Santino and Beduza, those are two of my favorite dogs. I think they look great.
Yeah.
I think if the standard was set for that, I'd be pretty darn stoked.
And then the old famous picture of
Doro.
Again, another
Doro.
nice,
And
great
he
looking
looks
dog.
like nothing out of the litter. So I mean, like this is That's the crazy part, right?
Again, yeah, it doesn't look anything like.
Take a zoom on my man over there.
Yeah, doesn't look anything like Kokomo, and doesn't look anything like Orso or even Santino.
Do you know how much Dora weighed? What he topped out at? He looks like a big dog.
Yeah, what I'm pretty sure Duro was the big was he the bigger of the I can't remember 100%. I know they all I thought it was Bruno or Duro that was the biggest. It was topping out at 140. Either one of those was the big one. I can't remember which it was. Oh, we got again the other old picture of
Great looking dog.
Kokomo and Duro. And I mean, again, just even them side by side, they don't even look alike.
Yeah. Structure is totally different. Totally different. Very wide
Yeah, because I
chest
mean,
on Dura.
right, and you're seeing Kokomo always had that deep chest, and it really came up high into the abdomen, where a lot of the other dogs were pretty flush, you could say, on their underline.
Yeah. Then look how strong the rare of Duro is. Super
Yeah,
that dog actually kind of reminds me of Drika.
yeah,
Body
yeah,
type is a little pretty similar to Drika.
yeah. I mean, if we're going off of these pictures, I mean, Kokomo's angulation in the back looks pretty pretty bad, pretty straight in the back in that picture, anyway.
Yeah. I agree.
What else
What
do we
other
got
pictures do
here?
we have here?
Oh,
Shout out to our one viewer. Thank you.
yeah, we did have two. We had two at one point. I saw. I don't know I don't know where everybody's at. So we got another picture of Duro.
Duro, which looks nothing like
Yeah,
what
again.
is. Let's take a zoom on his head. Let's look at this man's headpiece. I mean, also all the criticism is going to say all these pictures are black and white and they're so pixelated, and how do you know these dogs or whatever? But everything is subject to opinion, my friends.
Yeah, yeah, we're just going off of what we're seeing. Obviously, we weren't there, and there ain't too many people that were there that saw all these dogs next to each other. So 90% of the people that's saying consistency never saw all the Super Six dogs next to each other in real life. So,
And I
and
mean,
head
even
type,
when we compare this old, is that Bolo Orso?
yes,
Yeah, that's.
yeah, I
I
mean
mean,
head type completely out of the norm for the whole litter.
kind of looks like a llama.
Yeah,
I mean, just not the most flattered shot, but yeah, head type's totally different. Could like that to me is a rot head. That could look like a rot head if that dog's ears weren't knocked.
I agree.
That head could be very comparable to a Rottweiler of that time.
Agreed.
So while we're dabbling in this, when they say for our people who say Neo-Rott cross, and some people think it is a male into a female, so a male Neo into a female Rottweiler. I don't think that a hyper typical male Neapolitan Mastiff like that into a Rottweiler would produce dogs looking like that.
No, 100%. I mean, we have
We
the
believe it
everybody.
is a. After you, brother.
Uh, we have everybody saying, it was his champion dog Brutus to a Rottweiler, and I mean, I think you know as well as I do, that dog was huge. Was not crazy, dramatic in wetness and in tight, but it was enough where if that dog was crossed to a Rottweiler, these dogs would look dramatically different.
Yes, yes, I believe bigger wrinkles on the face, bigger dewlap. I think the bone would have been way, way, way bigger. He's still a big dog,
Yeah,
huge dog.
yeah. I mean, but if we're gonna go and jump to this picture, and this is
And who is this?
I'm sure people know this is supposedly Sarah, the Neapolitan Mastiff, which was the mother to Rocco, supposedly coming from Mike Santilli Jr.
And I mean, that would make sense. Dry Neo.
Yes.
Fine or
I mean,
bone Neo, not hypertypical.
right. If we're talking a dog like that, dry Neo, bred to something like this, you
His
know.
Kokomo is the sire. Yeah, so
Yep.
hit him with the side by side again. So we got that dog over here, Black Brindle.
Black Brindle, Neo, and Kokomo could definitely.
That is pretty friggin' feasible, man. That makes some sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good head on Rocco too, man. Let's take a little zoom on that. That is a great head on a dog.
Yeah. I mean, what we're talking, even people in Italy claim this dog as their template a couple times.
Which is hilarious because I mean it's American stock. Shout out to the Italians. You know,
Yeah, shout out to the Italians.
I don't know.
American Connie Corsos aren't real.
Yeah, yeah. Guess what? Your dogs aren't real either.
Yeah.
Your dogs are made up shit too, man. At least this stock looks way better.
Oh, well, I guess here we didn't go over this picture. This is a good head study of Santino.
I mean, you could kind of see the Neo in there. You know, if
Yeah.
I'm being critical,
If we're being
it
critical,
could be a Neo head.
Yep. Because it's funny, you know, how can we go from supposed mother Super 6, very dry, no wrinkles,
Yes.
no dewlap,
Yes.
to every pup coming out with a lot more dewlaps, wrinkles, and just a lot more wet overall.
Yep. There has to be some even that dog. So let's say this dog, maybe this was their F1. Who knows what they used to make this female, and then you breed that to one of their older, drier Neos. I remember they had a tawny. I believe it was a tawny male Neo. I think its name started with an A. I remember doing some research and finding some pictures of that. I don't know if you have any of those
I can
kicking
double
around,
check.
but
I may or may not.
But I could picture, you know, a Neo to that producing something like Super 6 dogs.
Yeah, I don't think I have. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
And I mean, I also think, I'm just saying, I don't think a male Neo to that Rottweiler bitch is throwing 13 puppies. I don't think that female is tossing 13 puppies out. I don't know if you're getting that many pups out of that mating. Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it's hard. I guess that's hard to say. I mean, why did you say that you didn't think that?
With size difference of the dogs, and I like what's the typical amount of pups that you get from a Rottweiler?
Yeah,
They're usually like around 8.
I think
But
so.
it differs. It varies.
It varies, yeah, but
I think it varies.
I think a lot of dogs back in the day had real big litters, though. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, I mean, I guess it could vary. It just varies.
Yeah, yeah. Withdraw that statement. I take it back. For all the haters who are gonna come at me for that. What's your scientific backing on this? Absolutely fucking nothing. It's opinion.
Yep. So what
are we going down here?
I don't know. We got all kinds of pictures. What do we want to dive into?
I mean, we're still on the Super 6 dogs. So I mean, do you want to start going downline from that, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, because I think.
Or do you want to keep with dogs on the 90s, like, you know, around that time? Super 6 was like very, very close to that.
Yeah, I'm thinking we stick with dogs from the 90s.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, because I got plenty of pictures from the 90s. We can go all over the place with that.
Let's start going through, picking them apart.
So where do we start out? For the heck of it, we'll throw up Damien.
Damien. So this is that?
This is a.
Don't tell me.
Brother.
That's Zale. Yeah. Zale, brother. And fucking Brindle points again.
Yeah,
looks absolutely nothing like Zale.
Nothing like Zale, 100%. I mean, this is 1993. Tri-State Working Dog Association.
Good looking ass dog, though.
Yeah, fucking another shout out to Linda Sanino's sister for hooking us up with the picture. And we'll zoom into the
head, man. That's a good ass head.
Champion Damien.
Look at the muzzle on that dog, man.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're nice, pretty parallel, intersecting planes. No real hard break from the head to the muzzle.
And this is my other question. Oh, sorry, David. After you, brother.
I was gonna say the size looks a little bit bigger. I know these weren't 100%. These weren't related necessarily to the Super 6, but size looks a little bit bigger. That dog looks a little taller than
for sure
than
taller.
Super 6. Yeah.
And also, if these dogs were coming from a farm, so if the original story was this guy went to a farm, drove by, he saw some dogs working cattle. So those dogs are already being bred to work the cattle. Those dogs are high drive working dogs. If you ever been around collies, any sort of shepherd dog on farms, any sort of farm working dog healers, anything like that, those dogs are not dogs that you keep in your house. You're not raising 15 of those in your house, man. It just doesn't work that way.
Nope, not at all.
So he has these litters of dogs. Like, how the fuck did you raise them? Like, what was the temperament of these dogs? Because he sold them to a bunch of people who are just dog breeders. So they're just keeping them in kennels. That's not going to work.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you get a bunch of neurotic, destructive dogs.
100%. You can't tell me all these people back in the day were working each and every dog. Those dogs were sitting in kennels all day long. You can't tell me they were getting them out, working them. And, yeah,
they're breeders, man. It's a business. Yeah, it's a business. How do you have that much time for X amount of dogs?
Exactly.
So I mean, that just thought that popped into my head.
Oh, we got three viewers now. I don't know.
Oh, we got three. Shout out 3 viewers.
Yeah, shout out 3 viewers. No comments yet that I can see.
I've been waiting for the comments, man. I thought it was gonna be a little bit more.
Somebody come on here and roast us or something.
Just make fun of me. Just drop my self-esteem more. I don't need it.
Yeah. Yeah. We got another.
Who do we got there?
That's champion Damien, I believe, again.
So that's Damien again? Okay.
I believe so. This one isn't marked, but I'm pretty sure.
That dog looks black brindle though. I'm not really seeing the points. I think
agree.
He had more prominent points on the legs.
He did. I can't tell from the picture, but another old dog from the 90s. Regardless if it's.
And are these still rare breed shows or are these Corso shows at this point?
This is it says Federation of International Canines, and then it says International Cane Corso Federation. So this must have been a Corso show here. It says
so national... FIC.
Yep, FIC.
So FIC is Mike Satilli Sr.'s registry. That is his deal. That is his jam. Not the FCI. Kind of sounds the same, right?
Yeah, kind of sounds the same. Maybe a little play on words there.
What? Kind of like when you order something from Wish, and you know what that is? What else do we got for these pics? Do you want to show them the pictures of most of those dogs from the rare breed shows back then? The colors that they were coming, because they were predominantly pointed dogs.
Yes, they were. So we'll go. Got boom.
Holy moly!
Blue.
Holy moly!
I believe that's a blue brindle pointed. I don't think that's not just straight blue points.
Let's zoom in on this dog.
This was this is female from what I was told by this was again Linda Sanina's sister. I can't remember her name, so apologize. But when she sent me this picture, she said this was a massive female, just way big for her time.
Hey, bro, we got a comment, man. I don't know how to go back because I don't know how to use technology.
That's all right. We'll bring it up. It says, "Just got on here. What are you guys talking about? Talking about American Corso history."
Just showing some pictures, brother. We're showing some old pics, going over some opinions. Yep, Nothing is law here. Just come chill with the boys and talk dogs, man. That's all we're doing here.
That's right.
But I mean, if we're looking at that dog, David, fucking get serious with me here, bro. Come on, man. Come on. Pointed dog, huge female.
Huge female.
Zoom in on the head, bro. Zoom in on that fucking head.
Now that head,
so
it's it's hard to say because I can see personally, I can see Kokomo, a young Kokomo in that head type. If we're going, I can't bring up pictures side by side, but we're looking at those old pictures of Kokomo where Mike Jr. was showing him. I can see similarities in head type. But again, we're talking. Where are you getting? Where are you getting a big, stout, blue, brindle pointed female like this from? Just out of the mountains of Italy?
That's probably not happening, brother. Got you. Do
Probably
you
not.
think the Satilli dogs are Corso? Okay, Josh. So I think that Corsos are a type of dog.
Yeah,
Cane Corso,
100%.
coursing Mastiff. I think that they are all band dogs. I think Italy has their own style of band dogs, and I think the Satilli line is the American style of Cane Corso band dogs for this region that we live in, North America. Shout out America.
Marca. Yeah, 100%.
Merc.
I agree with everything you said, Kareem. I mean, we're talking regardless if these are regardless if Conning courses are pure or not. I mean, we're all saying I think we all know that they're mixes of some sort from everywhere. So it's like we have a style over here and they have a style over there. Yes, their style has been imported over here and used into our dogs. So nothing, it's all just mixed dogs. End of the day.
Agreed. It's a type. Never was a breed. Technically, it wasn't meant to be. Agreed, Josh. I'm with
Yeah,
you on there, brother.
yeah, facts.
Just
So
a
back
type
to
for purpose. Think about this. Oh, sorry. After you, David.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
Back to Josh. I think, type of dog. These dogs over in Italy were bred for a purpose. No poor farmer is going out and buying a purebred dog to bring to their fucking farm where they're fucking broke as shit
Yep.
to do work. Like they're just
No.
breeding dogs that serve a purpose, and they're line breeding that shit to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. And think about how much dogs die during the work that they're doing.
Yeah, and even just to touch on, you said line breeding. I don't even think there was a rhyme or, if I'm going to be honest, I don't even think there was a rhyme or reason for 90% of the dogs that were being bred. They probably were not all locked up. They were probably not all chained. Whatever was breeding together was breeding together. I mean, technically we're talking line, but when I say line breeding, I'm thinking of
Yep.
an organized plan. This is just son breeding mother over here by accident, uncle breeding daughter.
I agree with that 100% because I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. We're just talking random dogs just screwing on the farm.
yeah, exactly. They used what they had. If the dog could work, it was bred. Yeah, or probably if the dog got out, it was bred too.
That's exactly. I don't even. I'm not even backing. I'm not even backing the whole. If it worked, they bred it. I. I'm thinking dogs just wandered away. Oh man, they probably walked out one day. Oh, this dog just walked up on the farm, and it screwed this other dog of mine. And we have a litter of pups.
Yeah, and kept the ones that did some shit.
Yeah.
So let's get back to this picture real quick. I'm saying
Yeah.
if we got a bitch that big, man, that's looking like a Neo-Rott cross to me.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Come on, bro.
We're just saying
Come
speculation.
on, bro.
We're talking. This is
Allegedly.
This is 1995 International County Corso Federation show.
Dope looking dog though. I'm not taking that away.
Looking
The
dog.
looks
It's a
dope.
great looking dog. And
So let's get back to more of these dogs. What else we got?
Old Serafina.
And where was Serafina fitting in the Super 6?
Oh, I'd have to look it up. I can't. This dog has never stuck in my head of where she fit in. Do you remember?
I don't. I'm scatterbrained right now. But let's zoom in on that picture. Let's just start looking at what we're working with here. So pretty decent sized brindle pointed dog. I mean, look at the eyes, man. Look at the eyes. Look at the eyes and look where the eye sets and the muzzle starts. See, that's like rot head all fucking day. All fucking day.
Yeah, we're talking that hard break from the. We're not talking the nice intersecting parallel planes from head to muzzle. We're talking a very flat skull, hard angle down, and then the muzzle starts. That as old. I can show old school Rottweilers that look like that.
But yeah, I mean, back to everybody thinking I'm not hating on the Satilli dogs. I think they're dope, but I'm just calling them what they are.
Yeah.
I think the Satilli dogs are wicked.
And then we got, not the best picture, but for the pod series, this is Champion Bravo. This was a dog
Bravo.
personally owned by Linda Sanino's sister that she showed, and I believe she championed herself.
I see. But I mean, still, when you look at these dogs now, these dogs in the past versus the American Lions now, there is no fucking way they don't look the same. So
Yeah.
anybody saying that I have this shit, I got the old shit, just literally compare these dogs from the 90s to the shit that they have now, and don't bullshit yourself. Like, we gotta be straight up with ourselves.
Yeah.
Do they look the same, or are you just reading a pedigree, crossing your fingers, and hoping?
100%.
Kind of like squinting with one eye, like.
Yeah. Exactly. And again, we're talking at this dog. What do you see there? You don't even, I wouldn't even say court. I mean, if you didn't know what breed of dog that was and you saw that, what were you thinking?
Just give me 1 second. We got Josh asking another question. Could you bring it up again, David?
He said, I'm not hating on them either, but I wish we could just hear the truth. The whole story behind the Super Six makes zero sense when you actually pay attention to what the story is. And I don't know if you tuned in, Josh, in the beginning, we have two separate stories. One probably never being heard that I was told personally by Linda Valentine.
If you want to hit him up with just a brief rundown of it.
Yeah, if you want to hit, brief rundown was Linda Valentine worked with Mike Sr. with Neo's. He had seen Corsos over in Italy beforehand. He went over there, and it was him. He went over there himself, but it was a team effort between Linda Valentine, Linda Sanino, and Mike. That they're like, let's get some Corsos over here. So Mike went over and picked up two bitch dogs from Italy, and they were bred in Italy on the farm. He brought them back. He gave one female to Linda Valentine, and he took one female home to his house in New Jersey. Linda Valentine says his female did not take, but Linda's female did take, and she produced the first litter in the United States in 1988, which was the Super Six. And we did touch on too that we have a picture of the mother of the Super Six, supposedly, which is signed by Linda Valentine herself.
Okay, let's flash that for Josh over there.
Yeah.
You still with us, Josh? We here? Are we out here together, bro?
This is what we got. This is supposedly, and again, this is a picture sent to me by Linda and signed on the back. Mother of the, it says mother of Benduza on the back, but mother of Benduza, mother Super Six, same deal.
So, there you go. There you have it. I think as far as that story goes, Josh, I think when money's involved, everything gets skewed. Is what I'm saying, brother.
Josh said that's interesting.
Yeah.
Very much so.
I think most people are going to say that. I think when you have this many people making money off of dogs, think about it. Back then, they were selling what? How much were they selling dogs back there? Do you think for David? I heard one story. He was selling his Neos for like $3,500 a pop.
Yeah, I think they were $3,000 and $4,000 a pop for good dogs back then.
Yeah, so I think Senior may have went over to Italy. He could have seen that the recovery program was starting. He's very well versed in dogs, so he probably looked at what they are promoting as this Cane Corso. I think he could have came back to the States, seen the ingredients that he had to make something similar. And I think he's like, okay, they're using some Neo base over here. Okay, I'm going to use some Rottweiler. You're going to get some brindle points out of that. I don't think that the Super 6 were the F1s. I don't think that was the first generation. I think those dogs came later. Yeah, I think he just knew what they're doing over there in Italy, and he beat them to it in America before the importing started. He's been importing Neos his whole adult life. He knows the dog game. So beat them before they even start here. Already have the shit developed, and then they're coming to you saying that you're the originator in this region in North America. I think it's all for money.
100%.
I think it's all for money. and there's no way that you bring I just want people to understand working dogs need a purpose. Those dogs need to work all day. You cannot keep those dogs in a kennel. You can't keep those dogs in your house. They will tear shit up. They will fuck everything up.
100%.
Everything. Your fucking wife's gonna leave you because your dogs are fucking running amok in your house. Or the
100%.
kennels, doesn't matter. They will wig out. So how the hell do you have these working breed dogs, 13 of them per se, just I'm going to sell them to my breeder friend over here. I'm going to keep 6 of them. Where the hell are these dogs being kept?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we do have, let me see if I can touch on, I have pictures of, this was basically like Linda Valentine's setup for most of her dogs. We're talking chain link kennels. I don't even think they actually had run-ins. They just had crates in the kennels that they went in.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, a real working, like a high drive working dog would shred that chain links or try to fucking climb over the bitch.
Yeah, they'd just be running back
Like,
and forth all day. I mean,
yeah. Pacing. Good looking dogs, though. Does that
yeah,
look like a brindle dog at the very
yeah.
back to you?
This is vice versa. I can't remember. This is either Santino and Benduza or Benduza and Santino. One of the two.
Best two. Best two, in my opinion.
Yep. So again, I guess we'll start touching on the pictures from the 90s. I have a couple more pointed dogs to show.
And then when did they do you like have a estimate of when the AKC came into place and said that the points wouldn't be allowed anymore?
I don't have a
Or whatever standard came in where they stopped the points and then all of a sudden these pointed dogs disappear.
yeah.
Like the pointed dogs fucking they're gone.
Right.
Because they're not desired in the show ring. So that means guys don't cross don't cross the rotted anymore. Let's bring in some import blood. It's all for money. These people have to sell pups.
Exactly. And even backtrack to the Italians. They only sold, I'm told, by the people importing dogs back in the day, that they only sold us their mismarked or brindle or pointed dogs. The Italians were straight sought after solid dogs, solid blues, solid blacks, solid fawns or reds. They didn't want no pointed or brindle dogs, so they shipped all those dogs over here.
I can see that because in their show rings, it's always straight blues or straight fawns.
Yeah.
It was one of those shows, and they want to push the black standard. What the fuck is giving you a black dog? What is giving you a black dog from their stock in Italy?
How many black dogs did you see on the farm back in the day? Solid
black. Exactly.
None.
What breed of dog is straight black? That's a fucking good looking dog right there too. Let's get a little zoom in, brother.
Yep.
Wicked fucking dog.
Yeah.
Good head.
Again, this is very slightly pointed, brindle pointed, very slight.
Like dilute blue pointed dog.
And this is 1993. This is not a Corso show. This is just Tri-State Working Dog Association. We got a comment from Josh. He said, I was just going to say that. What are the chances they shipped their best stock to the U.S. back then?
Fucking zero.
Yeah, zero. I mean, any smart breeder, just my background, besides dogs, I've raised and bred exhibition, poultry, waterfowl, many different animals over my years. Every breeder, and I don't care, I'm talking even breeders, my friends, nobody is giving you their best shit. Unless you're like blood brothers with these guys, they are giving you dog shit. They are sending you junk. Nobody is going to help somebody. Nobody's going to help somebody that they're going to eventually compete with one day, or especially if I'm sending a dog across an ocean, well, these people are never going to come back after me, so I could just send them some junk and not have to worry about any repercussions.
I agree. 100% agree on that shit. They are not sending us their best stock. Why would they? Like, think about Japan. Japan doesn't export their Wagyu beef to America. They're not sending us their fucking special sauce.
No.
They're sending you some, like, watered down shit that they're allowing you to breed with your stock, but they're not sending you their fucking greatest accomplishment. Why would they do that for dogs? Italy had the market cornered for fucking sending dogs out. Why would they send us their best shit? So
Right.
America can fucking outcompete them on their own breed?
Right.
Doubts. Heavy doubts, brother.
Heavy doubts.
David, we made it to an hour, bro.
Yeah, and we
Dog
got
talking for an hour.
We got 3 people on. It's easy to do. Get the talking dogs for this long.
Yo, can we pull up Dutchman just to give a little history how we're saying Neo-Rottweiler, or do you want to save that for another time?
Say Dutchman, the dog in my pedigrees.
Yeah, just to show people like the American lines. I mean,
Yeah.
actually, let's save it for another time, I think. Or
Save it for
whatever,
another
there we
time?
go.
Yeah, bring it up.
Yeah.
We'll go into it. So this is a dog. I can't say exactly the year that he was born or the year he was used, but I would say around the. What are you thinking, Kareem? He's probably in the. I want to say the
Maybe
late.
late 90s?
I
Late
it
90s,
depends.
late 2000s?
I want to say mid to late 2000s. This dog was probably around because I mean he's still up front in quite a few pedigrees. But
Oh, okay.
this dog was Dutch the Dutchman Eaton, and he was bred by Nobu Malasser, which was a gentleman out of Michigan, a big breeder from back in the day. And I mean, yeah, this dog is. I mean, what else can you say besides straight Neo? I mean, look at the
Like, look at the
head.
bone on that. Like, look at the dog, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's just scream. It looks like a purebred, purebred Neo for those times. I mean, look at the head and the jowls and the dewlap and everything. Yeah, and we're talking. This dog is what probably in some of my pedigrees, 2-3 generations back. So that's how
And it's
close
just,
that's how close people were still dropping Neo blood in.
what other pictures do we have down there? What's
Oh
that
well,
big brindle male sitting down? That's another dog from the 90s, yeah?
yeah. This was I don't know the whole story on this dog, but I know this is a Santino son. I don't know what the bitch that was used, but I know this is a Santino son.
Had to be a big bitch, man. That dog is huge.
Yeah. We got another comment from Josh. He says, "So, what's your guys' opinion on the size of the dog? Some people believe or think the dog should be 130 plus. I think that's bullshit. I think they vary now like they varied back in the day. It's I don't think there was no 140 farm dogs in Italy if we're talking Italy, but I mean if we're talking American stock from the gate, Super Six I think varied from some dogs in the
90, like 90
yeah
to 150,
140.
90,
Yeah,
140.
yeah. So I think they vary now as much as they varied back in the day. I think the Italian dogs were on the smaller side all around.
I think because the Italians probably infused more boxer blood to shrink the dogs down a bit, where like in the States they kept up with the Neo. The Neo blood was injected so frequently that the dogs are always going to be big.
Right,
But think
right.
about it this way: have you ever seen, besides those like Alibi and like Central Asian big dogs that are literal flock guardian dogs that are just built like shit brick houses, have you ever seen like a Mastiff type dog at 140 pounds be agile and run good for long periods of time? This dog is supposed to be a coursing Mastiff. Show me the 140-pound fucking dog that works like that.
Yeah.
I don't see it. Their hips will blow out. Their fucking elbows will blow out.
Yeah,
It's
they're
just
just yeah,
too
they'll
much dog. Too much
100%.
dog.
100%. I mean, what livestock or what kind of dog like we're talking a shepherd dog for herding? What kind of dog is over 100 pounds for that?
Yeah, think how small healers and collies are.
Mm-hmm.
Like
100%.
craziness. For me, I think my ideal size for like a band dog, I like dogs like just a little bit under 120 pounds. 150 pounds, fucking perfect for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I prefer them on the I prefer them a little bit on the smaller side. I don't want no big heavy dog because we're talking like my personal dogs. Diesel. Diesel's too big. Too big,
Yeah,
too heavy
Diesel's
bone.
fucking huge, man. Like,
Yeah, and even Moose. I mean, Moose is big. I think Moose can move, but still, I think a tad too big. If we're talking like perfect male size, uh, the male Thor, he's about perfect build
yeah,
for a Corso, in my opinion.
we got it from Josh again. Nope, they can't. Exactly. No 140 pound dog is working. Yo, Dave, this shit disappeared from me again,
I don't know
bro.
why. I don't know why it dies off. It says 140-pound dog is working on a farm every day without breaking down in the first few years.
And think about this: how do you feed that thing? Who the fuck is feeding a 140
Right. I mean,
pound dog
we're
when you're a
talking
poor
poor
farmer?
Facts. Facts. These dogs, and that's why I think too. I mean, if we're to go back to the story where if they could have been pure imports, they might be small and early because these people can't feed them nothing but table scraps, maybe. And then they're coming over here getting fed well. Maybe they're blowing up in size. It could be possible, but I mean, if we're looking at both sides of the story,
Yeah,
because I
I
think
agree,
so. I mean,
man.
I've seen people, not Corsos, but other dogs in general. They're in one environment, fed and kept like shit. They stay small, and then a litter mate will go somewhere and turn out double the
Thrive.
size because they were taken care of.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think there was another comment from Josh that we didn't
Agreed,
see.
120-pound male is okay, but it does depend on the proportion of the dog. Yeah, man, everybody has their own style of what they like.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, I think we've all seen dogs many different. I think we've seen some huge dogs that can work, and we've seen plenty of small dogs that can work. I mean, I think it depends on the dog itself. I mean, like I said, I think Moose is probably 150. I want to say.
But he doesn't look like a big dog, but he's a big dog that moves like a small dog.
Yeah,
Is
he
like
moved. So I've seen big dogs that can move. So they are out there.
what else we
What
got
else?
here for pictures? We got any more 90s dogs?
Yeah, I got
Let's look
plenty
at
of
like what
90s
some
dogs.
old Belmonte stuff look like. Fucking great dog. And you never see that brindle coat coming through like that anymore. You don't get that real rich red brindle anymore. It's more
No,
of like a brown brindle, like a bull mastiff brindle. You do not see that brindle anymore.
no,
This
no.
chestnut over here, super rare.
Yeah, you don't see that color variation pop out at all these days. Very few and far between. Belmonte dogs we got. This is 2001, but we'll show it off.
I like a Corso that's a little longer rather than square.
What was that comment?
Says that he likes the long Corsos more so than the square ones. I could get down
Yeah,
with that.
yeah, I can get down with that as well. So yeah, that's what is it? Belmonte Primo 2001. If we're looking at that dog,
Pretty much
and
agree.
that dog does not look heavy Neo, in my opinion. Looks more
No,
Roddy.
head type is more like it's a rod head type. I don't see it's not over exaggerated in the face at all.
No, no,
Maybe get
no.
is that brindle pointed? I can't see from the back. I'm blind, or is it
I
just black?
I think it's just black. I think we're just the old picture with sun casting on it kind of looks like points, but it could be. But I think it's black. It seemed like Belmonte focused on pure black dogs. The farther he got,
Mm,
towards his end. And then here we didn't touch on this picture.
Vampire.
Vampire, and we got Linda Sanino in the back, and good old Mike Senior, just so like the used car salesman.
Just zoom in on that. Zoom in on that. Like go right in on his face. Come on, let's do it. Yep.
Oh,
I mean, the man looks slick, bro. The
he
man
does.
looks like he could tell you that these dogs came from a farm and you would buy the dog thinking it came from a farm.
Yeah, he looks like he could tell a good
I'm
story.
just saying, man. He looks like he could sell ice to the Eskimos, bro.
That's right. That's right.
That's
But again,
hilarious. His
dog
own
every
stock at his own dog show. It's
yeah,
that's a businessman right there.
that's right. He's got to capitalize.
Just that's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah,
Get people playing his game.
this is a new
No
one. I don't.
disrespect. May your soul rest in peace, bro. You
Yeah,
you
yeah,
you did some good shit with the dogs.
that's facts. He says, "So who's your ideal Corso? If you could clone a dog, which Corso are you choosing?" That's a good question. I like that. Oh
I'm
shoot!
a
I mean,
sucker for like Banduza and Santino, man. I love those dogs. I think they look perfect to what I would like.
yeah. We're talking like original dogs from. If we're talking any dog, Yeah, I mean Santino Benduza was pretty hard. I mean, I like Kokomo, but it's funny because we're talking. I like some pictures of Kokomo where he looks hard, and then if we're looking at those other pictures we showed, I was less than impressed. So I like Kokomo a lot, but varying pictures. But all the pictures I see of Santino throughout his years, younger dog, older dog, he looked nice always with
Great,
his years. Yeah.
great looking dog. Good muzzle, not too big. Real
Yep.
chestnut brindle, just good looking dog in my opinion. I think
Yeah. And
they're
now we see
definitely
here
my
we got
favorite.
Champion Vampira, whatever you want to say. This is something different. I don't see many dogs from this show, but this was an international Molosser Fellowship. Interesting placard there from 1992.
I mean, just a bunch of fancy words slapped together, right? Have you
Yeah,
seen Sisiko 1? No, I have not.
yeah. I don't think I've seen if I did see the dog, I can't put the name to it at the moment.
Would it be in the ICCF database? Maybe you could just pull her up, David.
Yeah, I
I
can.
don't know. We'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see. But I
we can
mean,
try to pull it.
Vampira, not that impressive to me. You know,
No.
not the most impressive looking dog, which is how I feel about a lot of dogs back then. Like, I don't think they were as good as people prop them up to be. They're kind of average looking at best. You have some heavy hitters that look great, but you know, not every foundation dog is like the best looking dog should be replicated. My personal opinion, I don't believe that. We're just hanging and talking dogs. It's all opinions. Everybody has a voice. Nothing is certain
That's right.
here.
You said Italian farm dog.
Just speculation.
I'm trying to.
Is it in the database, Josh? Probably not. He's an
There's
Italian
there's
farm
a
dog.
there's a hundred there's like 100 Sasicos. I'm looking at. Yeah, there's like
Oh, maybe we
100.
could look him up later because we might just burn the time away looking for that
Yeah,
shit right now.
yeah. I just thought I'd give it a quick one. I couldn't pull it up at the. So we'll touch on some more pictures. I got some. I got plenty of them.
Let's look at some Belmonte stuff, like some old
Belmonte.
Belmonte stuff, just so. I mean, everybody's like, I have Belmonte in my pedigree, but I really don't think they have any fucking clue what the dogs actually look like.
Yeah,
Like,
and we're talking. They have Belmonte in the pedigree, but we're talking in the sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th generation, which have zero impact on the dogs that are in front of them today. All right, so here we'll
we'll
touch on.
check them out later, Josh. What do we got here? Oh, okay,
This
yeah,
is
this is a good one.
I was sent a Belmonte put out a little catalog, little booklet back in the day to hype up business, and I was lucky enough. I think the guy's name was Dave Bell. I might be forgetting his name, but he hooked me up with pictures from the entire booklet. I don't think anybody probably has this booklet except for him, mint condition. So we're talking Belmonte Gold in the top left, Champion Zora top right, Midnight, and Aruba. And we're
Let's
talking
zoom in
all
on
these
gold
dogs.
for a second.
Yeah.
Get a better pick. I mean, not my favorite looking dog by any means, but I could see that being a Rottweiler Neo Cross 100%.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, Kokomo was the father, and I'm just going off from memory. I can't remember what the mother was, but I know Kokomo was the father, sire.
And I mean, it doesn't have to be these over exaggerated heavy type Neo that they cross into. They could have used some lighter fine bone Neo, like
Right.
that Sarah
I
bitch.
think
Like, you know,
I yeah, I think everybody kind of thinks the overdone, super overdone Neos were around back then. The real overdone Neos weren't really. We're talking in the late '80s. I don't even think super heavy overdone Neos were even a thing then, like they are now.
what do we got here? Yeah, I think Midnight looks pretty darn decent.
Yeah, Midnight was. I think I have better pictures of Midnight, but yeah, that was a nice dog. That was a pointed dog as well.
Yeah, I mean, think about the number of pointed dogs that came out back then, and they're just resurfacing, I believe, in the like last maybe 3 years, 4 years. But there was a time where all the pointed dogs were just gone. Nobody wanted them because I don't think they could have sold them and papered them. So I think all of this always stems from money. I think when the pointed dogs were no longer desired in the show ring, I think everybody fucked off with their American stock out here. They started bringing in the import blood to not throw the points anymore or call the points out of their program and start breeding for what the market wanted.
100%. 100%. Yeah, because I mean, in
Wait,
everything. Go ahead.
Are we allowed to fucking swear on this? Like, are we supposed to do this, or like, does the video get? Well, I don't know, man.
I don't know. I don't think we're big enough that they're gonna drop us. I guess we'll figure out.
Dude, what are you talking about? We got 2 people watching. We got 2.
Yeah, I don't understand why we got 2 people watching.
That's funny. Oh, whatever. We're just hanging, talking dogs. Everybody's welcome to join.
Yeah, they can come in and watch it. Come in and watch it later when it goes on.
What do we have here? Where are these dogs coming out of?
Oh, this is coming out of the same magazine or little.
Oh, jeez, it's a dude. I thought it was your iPad for a second. It's like, yo, make the picture bigger. It's a fucking magazine. A good looking dog.
Yeah, that's
that blue.
Belmonte Corso. Yeah, probably a blue dog.
But let's look at the nose. Like, let's increase the size and look at the nose of that dog. The noses start changing. The noses are starting to change a little bit. Not those big open nostrils that you're seeing before. So is this before or after they imported some stuff?
This is probably after, because we're talking. This is whatever his name is, Corrado. This was an import, so I mean, Cora could have been an import. I'm not 100%.
I mean, that's not a bad looking import though. Like, look at that dog. That doesn't look like a boxer face hypertypical dog. It kind of looks like a Santino almost.
Yeah, we're talking real nice long muzzle, more shepherdy in the muzzle, coming more to a point instead of being real thick and blocky at the front of the muzzle.
Just so much that goes with these stories, man. What do you believe? What do you believe?
We got that's bad picture, but Rocco on the left there, and then that says Delilah. I'm not familiar with that dog.
She almost called this shit the Cane Corso mystery.
Right?
The American Cane Corso mystery. I don't know, bro.
Oh, then we got these.
Is that Sicilian Ed Hodis? Or is that somebody else?
That's that Leone and Belmonte. Then over here we have I think it's Mike Santilli and Christian Ed Hodis, and then I think that other guy was a family member in Italy that was related to Mike.
I see. I think we touched on the early dogs. I think we're feeling pretty good here.
Yeah.
Are those the import stuff that they had? Those pictures down there?
Yeah, we're talking that bottom female with the pups on her. That was that Corrado's mom. So that was the mother to that one dog that they imported. And yeah, another Italian import, Brenda.
Pretty leggy dog. Pretty leggy. Like super leggy.
100%.
And I mean, everybody thinking that the Italians had this pure breed of dog, that every farmer had the dog. That's crazy, man. They're just mixing. They're mixing as much shit as everybody else was mixing. They're just trying to create a standard for everybody to go by, and whoever has the better story sells more pups. I think that's how that works.
100%.
Well, David, we almost ran hour and a half here. You want to call it? Shoot another one next Saturday?
I think we call it. I think just for the an hour and a half. I don't know how many people are gonna pop on later and sit here for an hour and a half and watch us ramble. So
yeah, but that's what it is, man. Dog talk. Just hang out.
Right,
Everybody come grab a coffee, hang out in the morning, talk some shit. Try to get to the bottom of this. If you got some puzzle pieces, add it in. You know, we're all trying to figure it out. Everybody's trying to figure it out. All right, brother. So next Saturday?
Next Saturday, same time, same place.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Peace.